The Golden State Warriors are in a bit of a rut right now, and they're struggling on the road. They're 1-6 on the road for the season. Just lost to OKC and had 2 bad losses versus Bucks and Pacers, which led to Draymond in his interview calling out players for personal agendas that didn't line up with the team, and Jimmy Butler calling out the team's effort.
What do you think is the biggest difference between the way you ended last season once Jimmy got here and what's going on right now?
I think everybody was committed to winning and doing that any way possible. And right now, it doesn't feel that way.
I mean, is it personal agenda type stuff, or like, I guess how was you kind of?
I think everyone has a personal agenda in this league. But you have to make those personal agenda work in the team confines. And if it doesn't work, then you kind of got to get rid of your agenda. Or eventually the agenda is the cause of someone getting rid of you. And so, I think you don't want a team with no personal agendas, because a goal is an agenda, And so you got to have some type of personal agenda. But like I said, you got your personal agenda must fit into the confines of the team.
Where does that dynamic show up on the court?
What do you mean?
Like the not a lack of commitment to winning.
Getting your ass kicked by 30 shows up fast. So, yeah, it shows up really fast when you get whooped like we got whooped tonight. So.
Draymond, do you feel like this team is still kind of figuring out their roles, just all the different
Yeah,
players?
for sure. And in figuring out roles, it requires some selflessness, because your role won't always be what you want it to be. Who I thought I'd be coming into the NBA and what my role turned into are two completely, drastically different things. But you got to be a star in that role, And so, yeah, we're definitely still figuring out roles. But better do it fast.
I think he's, partly correct. We just got to get back to doing whatever it takes to win. Everybody might have to sacrifice something. I can't tell you what that sacrifice might be for every individual. It may be different for every individual every single night. But just got to get back to winning is the main thing and the only thing. And it's going to be the collective of the group to figure out what is needed to win this tonight.
Jimmy, to your point, everybody might have a different reason on what they need to fix. What do you think the biggest collective problem is right now?
The fight, honestly. I just think that the fight's not always there. If we're not making shots, I don't know, get us out to not guard, whatever reason that may be. We got to fight no matter what. And, I think most of that fighting I'm talking about is on the defensive end. Not getting stops, and just not playing hard. Just not doing what it really takes to win.
How do you get that fight back?
I don't know. We're gonna have to figure it out. That's what this road trip is for. Got a good group. Everybody has to be honest with themselves. Everybody has to be honest with everybody else. We're gonna figure it out. We all we got at the end of the day, and that's never gonna change.
What stands out with the turnovers right now, Jimmy?
Just not caring enough about every possession. Get lazy with the ball. Some of them are good turnovers, like overpassing the ball, looking for the open guy. And then some of them are just can't have it, But the people that have the ball a lot, they get a couple turnovers. Steph's gonna get those. Dre gonna get those. Myself, I can't have turnovers. K can't have turnovers. Trace can't have turnovers. And nothing's, I tell that to them like I tell you, but we're the ones that have to keep our turnovers down.
Agree with that? Do you feel that the season starts?
I think the vibes are higher. When you're not winning, you point at certain things you can do in a game to either, sacrifice for a teammate, and things go a little rocky like we did tonight. Try to go outside of just looking at the stat sheet to try to find winning plays that can help. I kind of fell into that a little bit tonight, trying to get myself going. But the bigger issue is obviously when you lose, you start to, look around to figure out what's the issue. Commitment to winning is just running the floor, rebounding, taking care of the basketball. It's not really about the shots going in and out. And we haven't done that consistently enough, and our record shows that. So good news is we can turn it around.